Hey friends, Specs Gaming here, and welcome back, I guess, to the first episode of Empyrion post creating the ship. It took me nearly 3 weeks, but I've got the world ship completed, and we're going to take a look at all of that here today. But first I wanted to show you this. I had redone the construction ship to give it more of a sleek look. I didn't like the way it looked before. It was like too tall, felt weird. I don't know, didn't like it. Plus, this is easier to get in and out of the world ship, parking it in the front bay of the world ship. So I just wanted to show you the update to this. This guy looking pretty good. I like the way he looks. He can haul a lot of stuff. He can drill ore. Pretty compact for a CV, really. And he's got enough lift to carry most of it. Plus, of course, we've got oxygen, and we've got healing, so if you're out working and stuff. And then the cockpit looks like this. It's got oxygen in it. You can see the O2 light came on there. Alright, and now we're going to go take a look at the world ship. And so, one thing I want to point out up front is that a project this big, when I get building this big, it's very, very realistic that I'm probably going to have missed things, and I'll be finding things for weeks to come to fix. But this is the world ship from the outside. I'm going to actually get out of the ship so you guys can get a better detailed look of everything. But you can see how large it is and how much it dwarfs the shipyard there. We have a bay in the front for this, and we're going to park this in there real quick. It's not the easiest fit, mind you, but we made the construction vehicle at just the right size so he can kind of fit in there. And I may need to actually go out to get it to fit because you can't really see. We're going to bring it down a little bit. Bring it in all the way. Bring its nose down, back it up a little bit, down. And he's locked into place, so we can turn him off. Alright. And let's roll out here real quick. I'm going to close the door. That is on the front of the world ship. I'm going to put my light on here too, so you can see. First off, let's look at the stats on the world ship. Like I said, this is an art project. This isn't something you're going to use in PvP because it's just massive, okay? It's a size class 63. It's got 72,000 blocks. To get all of these blocks, I have broken down every POI I could see that were Xerox. I've broken down the entire abandoned mine, the entire abandoned factory, all of those things. Everything's been broken down and collected and brought here, rebuilt in some cases. For the most part, I try to keep them. I'd slap a core on them and try to keep the blocks whole so that I didn't have to rebuild them again. But you know, a lot of times you end up with stuff anyways. Triangle count, I'm not even sure what that is, but that's 511,000. We got 491 lights on there. There's 2,741 different devices on there. The mass is 107 kilotons. It's 214 by 228 by 150, so pushing close to the limit. I think 250 or 264, something like that, is the limit. It's massive. Look at this, like 139,000 iron ingots to go into this guy. I mean, it's a big boy. He is a big boy. I've got 8 rocket turrets. I've got 8 minigun turrets. I've got 2 flak turrets, 4 rocket launchers, 4 pulse lasers, 6 plasma turrets, 4 cannon, 4 retractable. We've got 2 artillery on the front. We've got 4 sentry guns, which I might put more later on. I'm not sure. 1 detector and 2 cannon turrets. I wonder why these show up different. Do I have cannon turrets on there that aren't retractable? Weird. Normally I try to retract everything. 3 thrusters back and front, 4 thrusters top and down, 3 thrusters left and right, and 2 RCSs in it. Turns like a pig, but it should. Its size, it really should. Having this thing turn really fast would just seem weird to me. You can see we're almost to the 10 million RCS limit, or I'm sorry, CPU limit that that a tier 4 can handle. We're right up against it. I actually had to go with some smaller thrusters in conjunction with the larger thruster just to get enough movement. So it's a big boy. It's definitely got a warp drive. It's definitely got a shield. It can run about 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours on a full tank just running, which is, like I said, that's a pig. But for like my games, that should be okay. I'm not sure once we get moving how bad that's going to be, but we'll see. It's going to be bad. Like I said, this is an art project. It's not really meant to be useful by the rules of this game. So let's take a look at it, shall we? Here on the front, we have these guys, which I need to wire up. And this holds 2 rocket launchers and 2 pulse lasers in here. You can see I've cored them with alien blocks to protect them around the main part of them. Got a bunch of spotlights on the front. Got some viewing platforms here, and I'll show you all of that inside in a minute. I just want you to see the detail on the hull. The color of the hull I actually created myself. If you look at your color gun, I don't know if you've ever seen this or not, but there's a weird blue color that was here. You can actually select any color and hit configure, and then you can adjust the numbers until you get the color that you want, and it'll keep that color. The also good thing about that is if later on, if you want to paint a different color, you just change these numbers and all of this will automatically update. These basically correspond to this index here. So whatever color's here is the color in use on your ship will be that. But I wanted something a little more blue in my gray. So I mixed that out, and we got that. You can see, of course, the turret placement. I've got turrets protecting this incoming. Let's go up underneath real quick. We've got turrets underneath for any ships flying up underneath us. I've got turrets protecting my thruster. So this is our thruster room, and it's actually got an inside, and I'll show you that too. But I've got 1 extra large turret pointed in all 4 cardinal directions, along with 2 large turrets to back it up and give us a little more go. Ooh, looks like I'm actually, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like for weeks to come, I'm gonna probably find things that needed to be fixed, like that. There we go. Let me turn off that medium before it gets me in trouble. So the idea is that the upper deck is connected via these huge rafter things to this, and I've got like this massive like hookup system that hooks into the thruster pod, I guess you call it, and then I've got I've got an elevator system to get down there from the main deck. We've got 2 airlocks, 1 on either side to get in, and I'm going to go in and show you what the thruster pod looks like, and then we'll go up from there and work our way all the way to the top. We'll go all the way down real quick. There is no gravity in the thruster pod. That is, you have to wear a grav suit when you come in here, or I mean a jetpack. So ideally you would have like, radiation scrubbers or whatever that would, when you're leaving out of this room, because this room is massive. And I know I've got like walkways and stuff, but that would be like, I don't know if you happen to be in a gravity environment. So our thrusters come in here. They're hooked all in. We've got control decks for all of those. Yeah, we've got electronics and stuff in the floor there. But these are the thruster rooms in here. And it just looks like that all the way around. We've got air in here. It's all hooked in, ready to go. I can hit repairs on these without going out if I need to, if it's too dangerous to go out. We've got blast doors. I assumed, like, let's suppose you get attacked and one of these blows, you'd want blast doors to protect the upper pod from anything coming up the elevator shaft, so you blast door it. Alright, and then let's go up. That was the airlock. And then let's see. I'm going to turn this off and see if, okay, good. So we've hit gravity now. And you can see all around. I kind of like the way this went. I went with the thick windows. Pretty much used thick windows almost everywhere in this. I like the way they look better than the old windows. And I had that Sathium to spare. Alright, and so then we come through this layer here. There's actually a layer of alien blocks around the core of the entire ship at the bottom to protect all of the most important stuff. And here's where you would come up here, and if you were an enemy coming in, you'd have to deal with the security room here, which would keep an eye on anybody coming up through the shaft. And I've showed you guys this deck here, but the things I didn't show you was the promenade. So we finished all the promenade. And I want to go this way, I think. Yeah, okay. So there's two sides to the promenade. I'm going to put back on my gravity. On this side, we've got a little bit of storage area, or a little bit of like waiting area and stuff like that. And then you've got the bow observation A. And if we look at observation A in here real quick, you can see this is kind of just, it's a public area, right? Like you would come in here and you'd hang out, you know, with the off deck or off duty people, chilling out, just looking out at the stars. You know, like if we find something really cool, the ship would usually, you know, stop outside and everybody can come look in the observation room to see. I've got neurocoms, as I call them, thinking like some kind of hookup, and you could be like a, I don't know what you would like a virtual reality, but like through neuro hookup rooms, like if you want to call home, spend time with your family, whatever. So that's this observation. I'll come down this way. And then we've got Nogs. Nogs is a nightclub. It's a place for people off duty to come hang out, dance, have some drinks, spend some time with your fellow crewmates. It's got a dance floor here. Got seating, got the bar over here in the corner, got an upper area for people to hang out in. So we have the bar here, and then of course this is straight up into the crew quarters on this side. So for the most part it's engineering on this deck, but the public areas are here too, so we've got direct access from crew quarters, so you don't have to go through that. One thing I'm noticing is with gravity is stairs are hard to, with the gravity generators, let's just say, stairs are hard to deal with. But I think that's just an effective gravity generator. So yeah, this is Nogs. This will be a lot better when we get some NPC blocks and we start filling this place out. That's the next thing I'm doing after this, by the way, is we'll do a video of me running around trying to do some quests to make some money and buy as many of the NPC blocks as we can. I'd like to populate this entire ship with NPCs to make it come to life. All right. So that's Nogs, that's this deck. Let's go starboard, and let's see what the starboard observation deck looks like, or the starboard promenade, I should say. And this one's a little different. On this side, we have a cafe, the Crimson Eye Cafe. I want to kind of go up so you guys can see. You know, come here and have something not from the mess hall, something a little more like this would be a private citizen-owned restaurant where you could get something a little different from what we serve over there. Some more seating and chill out, and I've got a little book kiosk here where you can come buy new data books that have come out, things like that. Over here I figured I had, like, this is interspecies relations. We'd have a desk here where, like, you know, you could work out things between species, find out information, maybe get travel packages, whatever, to other planets. And then the promenade, the front observation, and this we've done as a theater slash meeting room. So in here you'd come in and, you know, you'd watch movies when they'd be showing certain movies on certain days, or, you know, like if we had a crew meeting, they could come in here like full and watch, you know, captain's addresses or whatever. And the rest of this I've showed you in the last update, so let's head up to the crew deck. Actually, we'll go to the crew deck over this way, and I'll show you what we did with the crew deck. So we come here, put back on my, turn off my jump jets, I should say, because it's a little easier to do. I need to paint some things here that I missed, obviously. Alright, and you come in here to the crew deck, and let's go this way. And then here we have cabins for the crew. Everybody's on, you would know where you are, like this would be Hall 1A, so you'd be in cabin 1A. And most of the enlisted They just have small cabins. They each get a closet, a desk, and a bed of their own. Some of them would be lucky enough to get the window seats or the window cabins. Probably rank would affect all of that. And it's pretty much the same for each enlisted setup. I didn't do oxygen in these rooms because like I'm trying to be cool on the number of oxygen that we would need, or the number of vents, since they do use up CPU and all of that. But I painted that to show like that you would have that. The hallways look like this. I thought it turned out pretty good. Went with this kind of thing. Put a light only on the intersections for the most part, and we used, you know, texture painting to kind of give us more lights. And you would go down this way, and this is on either side of the ship. Obviously you have the same kind of crew cabins. Like I said, some of them will be bigger. Let's see if I can find the larger. They'd be more like for officer cabins. Let's go down here, see if it's this. It might be the next row. Yeah, so like, you know, sometimes the room's a little bigger, and so you end up with, they get an extra furniture if they want. The idea what I kind of had was every officer gets, or every enlisted gets the same, you know, military assigned furniture. Officers, however, they get one extra or whatever. So yeah, these are the cabins. And then I know this is silly and there's no such thing as this in Empyrion, but I'm a Star Trek nerd, so I wanted holodecks. So there's 4 holodecks up here that crew can check out and, you know, go and do holodeck. There's 1, 2, and there's 3 or 4 on the other side down there. Well, there's a mistake right there. Let's fix that real quick while we're here. Give me that, and give me that, and make sure it's that. Yeah, bam, there we go, all fixed. Some of the bigger officers' rooms will be like in here. That's also a mistake. Sometimes building, what's it called, symmetry gets weird. You get some weird mistakes from symmetry building. And then we have a starboard mess room. This would be the mess hall on the starboard side. There's going to be one on the port side as well. Fridges, preparation. I'm going to try to have some aliens in here look like they're working. Humans, aliens, whatever. We'll see what works best in here. Swing down here. Alright, and we have a starboard and a port head. And the heads look like this. Everybody has plenty of room for restrooms. And we come down here, we got showers for everybody. It's all public. This is a military vessel after all. And then on this side, on the starboard side, we have an astrometrics lab. So I'll show you the astrometrics lab. Come in here. This would be that. Probably the head chief science officer would have his own office back here. And then of course up here you would have like where astrometrics, generally where they're planning plotting routes across the galaxy, looking at different science stuff. So, you know, this would be the astrometrics lab. Kind of try to stick with this same theme of blues and this pink for light, stuff like that. Back here is the hangar control room, which we'll go to next. I think I showed you guys the hangar already, maybe. I think I did that in the last video. Yeah. So this is just the entrance into the hangar control room. And then this comes back this way. Let's swing down here. That's the other side of the mess. Life support sits in the middle. And this is where we store and pump oxygen to the rest of the ship, basically. And oh my god, the ship is so big. If you look at that, it needed to fill 66,000 O2 to fill this ship. And I had to be sure to close off areas that didn't need, because it was just getting to be too big. You can see every one of these containers that we've got in here is required for me to fill this ship. It's massive. It's a big old boy. But I liked the way this came out in here. This looked pretty good to me. You know, like this is the life support system here. Okay. Also in the middle is the security office. And if we come in here, you see this is where the security officers would sit. The chief security officer would be here. Probably need to paint the roof in here. We have 2 cells. 2 brigs, I guess you would say they're called. Is that the brig? Yeah. 2 brigs. Where we would keep people who were misbehaving. Decided to do something a little different with the curved walls in here, just to get different. And then back here you would have the armory. And this would be like where we store all the weapons, the guns, the armor, stuff like that. So this is, you know, armory. Let's swing this way real quick. Pop back in here. There's another door to the hangar control. And then on this side, instead of an astrometrics lab, we have sickbay. Now if we look at sickbay, looks like this. We got the med bays ready to receive people that get injured. All the devices here for running tests on injured people. And then, of course, Major Porter. I don't know, I just came up with a name. Major Porter, United Galactic Federation MC. You know, like instead of an MD doctor, this would be the office for the chief medical officer. Alright, and then we go down here and everything kind of just repeats on this side that was on the other side. You've got the 2 rows of, or 3 rows of cabins, the head, you've still got the same, what you call it? Yeah, apparently easy for me to say. You still have the, oh yeah, these, the holodecks on this side for everybody. So this is the crew deck, except for we still have to go forward on the crew deck. You start to go forward on the crew deck here, and you get into more of the officer / business side of things. And so we have on each side of the hall, there's 2 different conference rooms for meetings, things like that. The bigger rooms I did do ventilators in. So that there was O2. It was just the small cabins I didn't do ventilators in. So everybody's got a ventilator in these rooms. And all of these ventilators lead into the ventilation system, which I'm going to show you next. Which I know it's a detail that is not required, but hey, I'm a big nerd when I'm doing art projects. So there's a different kind of conference room in here. And then you come down here and you get to the captain's quarters and the first mate's quarters down here. Let's go into their quarters first. Captain on this side. He's got a little receiving room in the front here. Watch television, hollow vision, whatever you want to call it. He's got his own bedroom back here, another television. And then he's got lots of storage for wardrobe and stuff if he needs. And then we go out of his room. He's got his office. The captain's office here where he can receive and, you know, plan and work and blah, 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 blah. So this is his office here. And then, of course, on this side, instead of the first mate, I'm sorry, actually, the first mate doesn't have his own cabin up here. He stays in one of the officers' cabins in the back. But he does have his own office up here. So this would be the first mate's office. And then there is... what is it? It is officer dining up here. And so we've got officers have their own dining hall up here where they can eat if they don't want to mingle with the other individuals. So that's the crew deck. So let's go up one more. So I'm going to go back to the elevator back here real quick. The other side of life support. And we're going to go up to command deck, where the ship is controlled and run and blah, 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 blah. So let's go up here. And we come on to command deck. Welcome to command deck. Now, this is where we can see out. I'm going to boop, boop, boop. Go up and just try to show you guys this. It's got different areas, communications and I don't know, security and whatever. There's different command areas here. We have a medical thing here. We have an O2 thing here. Didn't put them around the ship because technically you wouldn't think to have them around the ship. You know, maybe in a real situation, but I think the way I've always seen it is if the ship loses oxygen, people are dead for the most part. But up here we have that, and then of course we got the captain's seat here, and it kind of looks like this. This is what I did here for the cockpit area, the command deck. Not a lot to say here other than just, you know, spent some time kind of trying to redo. You can see all of our guns and everything out on the top deck there. Let's go one more floor up here real quick, and that would be the shield deck, the deck that provides shields for the entire rest of the ship. So this is the shield deck. Here, there's our shield generator. He's all hooked in. Provides shields to the entire rest of the ship. So if we get into a battle situation, then we're covered. So ideally, I'm gonna have like I don't know if I can get those robot guards or whatever that you see around. If we can, I don't know what we can do with the NPCs yet. We're gonna figure that out. We'll see what we can do, and we'll figure out how we're gonna place everything. This with black. There we go. Like I said, I'll keep finding things. It's really hard to paint and decorate a whole area or whole ship of this size and not miss things and not make mistakes. So this is the world ship. This is what the rest of the series will take place in. Ideally, we're going to jump into a system. We're going to find a place to park the world ship, and we're going to run sorties out of the world ship from the, you know, the bay down below, or the hangar or whatever. And yeah, this will be life going forward for us. So I think what we got left to do now is I need to go ferry everything down from the surface of the planet to us, make sure there's nothing left. I don't think there is. I think I've mined every mine that's down there. I think I've broken down every POI that is not ally of ours, and I think we're pretty much done with that. So what I'll do is I'll go down and I'm going to melt all the components in C-Lab just for their different parts, and we're going to bring them up, and I'm going to get everything sorted in and ready to go. And then we'll start with clearing any Xerax left in our system. Anything in any of these planets, we're going to get rid of all the Xerax. We're going to drain all the resources that we can, and then we're going to start jumping system to system and seeing what kind of trouble we can get into. So yeah, I hope you guys like that. I hope it was worth the wait. I'm going to probably put this and the construction vehicle up on the workshop if you want to spawn it in and play with it and kind of see what I did with different things. Oh, I did want to show you the one more thing before we go. I'm sorry. And that is the life support system down here. Let me zip down real quick. Actually, yeah, okay, so what we'll do is we will pop in through one of the vents. Most of the ventilators, pretty much all the ventilators, I think. What am I hooked to? Let's hook to that ammo box. Oh, I also got to make ammo. That's another thing we have to do, is I've got all of these guns and I've got no ammo for them. So we're going to probably craft a ton of ammo before we go. I'll do that off camera, though. So if you take any of the ventilators out and you go up, hang on here, J, there we go. If you take any of the ventilators out and you go up in, you get into the life support system here, which runs all around the ship. It's above all of the rooms, and each of these ventilators is into a room, and then this ultimately hooks into the life support system room. So yeah, it's a minor detail, but it's kind of like Jeffrey's tubes that you see in Star Trek or something like that. Kind of what I had in mind is that all of our electronics and all of that would run through these. So yeah, that was just that final detail. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope it was worth the wait. I will put these up for you guys to play with on the workshop. And yeah, next week probably we'll be back on a regular schedule of doing 1 or 2 videos a week for the game. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys then. Have a good one.